Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, Leo's happy 11/11 portal day. I wanted to go ahead and take a little peek and say so, if the 11/11 can be like the energy of life alignment, life purpose awareness, think of it like also a wake up call sometimes. What is it that is perhaps being like brought into focus today for Leo? We have Seven of Cups and we have the Emperor. It could be that Leo is taking stock of themselves today. Leo could be asking themselves a really solid question of, like, hey, have I actually been painting a life for myself that isn't actually what I wanted? Sometimes we say we want one thing, but we do something else. And I always use me saying that I'd love to run a marathon, but never training for it. You know, you can want something, but if you aren't actually taking the actionable steps to prepare for it, you ain't going to be running the marathon. And so this is like Leo might be calling themselves out to say, how much does the life that I want to have in the mirror reflect my reality that I'm living? Because this could have very much to do with whether or not Leo is working in the job that they want to work in, or whether Leo wants to like start their own business, become their own boss, or whether or not Leo is married or single. And it kind of says Leo is like, wait a minute, I can say one thing. Like, let's put it in this context. If you say, well, I'd love to meet somebody wonderful and have this happily ever after and this wonderful marriage with somebody, but I won't leave my house. I won't go on a single date. I won't let a friend introduce me to somebody. And I go nowhere where I would ever meet people. And I avoid making eye contact at all costs. That might be an example of, you say and lament all the time, like you never meet anybody. But then in reality, you are making sure that you won't meet anybody. That's the kind of like reality that Leo is being faced with, to just ponder. It doesn't mean that they're lying to themselves and that they're doing these things. I'm just using loose examples. But it says ponder, is the life that Leo actually living reflective of what they say they want it to be? We have Six of Wands sideways. Part of it is like yes, and part of it is like no, a resounding no. I realize I am not actually playing the song that I want to dance to. So in truth, there are some things that Leo is spot on. They're very true to themselves. And then there are a few things in their life that they probably are realizing no. And I just say that because the Six of Wands is sideways instead of upright. If it were upright, then it'd be like, oh yeah, Leo's like, of course, like I'm very proud of what I've created. I know exactly what I'm doing, why I do it, what I believe I'm worth, what I know that I want. This could actually hint at Leo is being asked, do you believe that you are deserving of having like an emperor's connection in your life? And this could be Leo is saying, well, I would like that, but deep down, maybe I don't feel like I have the confidence. Maybe this is a hint at, and it could be love and it could be, work related things. But it feels as if Leo is being asked, how much do you think you are worth? Do you believe that you're worth, like you could attract and have an emperor, somebody who loves you and wants to stay with you permanently? You want that, but you have to also know that you're worthy of that. Do you know that you're worthy of that? And this is Leo saying, maybe I haven't really given myself the right kind of support to say, of course I'm worthy of this. It feels like Leo is seeing where the gaps are in their self-confidence today, and those gaps could be playing a really big role without Leo having acknowledged it until now. Like, hey, maybe I should think more of myself. Maybe I should, like say, of course I'm worthy of having an emperor, somebody who loves me and stays true to me. And yes, of course I believe that, because if we can't believe that of ourselves, see, I kind of think Leo has been always staying alone. In this storyline, we have a very independent Leo. They could be a voracious reader also. This Leo could say, I just always seem to end up by myself. But deep down, I'm always saying I'd like to have an emperor in my life, a long-term connection. But in truth, I actually always write a story for myself where I'm solo. And Leo might be heavily influenced in some respects, like the things that they like to read about, could always be like one person's solo adventure where they're always still solo. Leo could discover something about themselves through like, kind of looking at what kind of entertainment do I gravitate toward? What kind of characters are my favorite characters? What kind of, storylines are most appealing to me? It could be that Leo has built for themselves a life that they identify with characters that are always solo because that's how they always feel. And maybe Leo didn't know this about themselves. Maybe that's what the wake up call is, because it says Leo wants one thing, but is living the complete opposite life, at least when it comes to partnership or being solo. Please remember, these are fictional stories about fictional characters, but this is, Knight of Pentacles. This is definitely a Leo who is really, I think, considering, maybe I've been doing this for a long time. And maybe this person's not riding a horse, they're riding a zebra without knowing it. I know, zebras are pretty horses, but there's something here also with the black and white keys of the piano. There's something here about things not being exactly as plain as Leo thought. Maybe Leo thought they were pretty clear on stuff, and now they're realizing, oh, things aren't quite that simple, are they? I thought maybe one day, someday, later, way later, I'd have that story that I tell myself I actually want, but everything I've been doing has been avoiding that. So why have I actually been avoiding having this partnership? Why is it that I haven't found the emperor relationship or the emperor? And this doesn't have to be some chick who wants to get with a great dude, but never finds him, but always thinks one fine day I will. This could be somebody who's like, I still haven't opened my business. I still haven't found the job, the career that I imagine really excelling in, that pays me really well, and becoming, a CEO of, or somebody high up in the company. But it's like, in truth, this is saying, not to like blame Leo and say, well, Leo's not working hard enough. No. It all goes to this card right here. Does Leo really genuinely believe in their bones that they're always still going to end up on their own no matter what? Because that's going to undermine their ability to like feel as if, like, this is almost somebody who's like, but I'll always still be living on a shoestring. But I dream of one day a different version of me could be successful. But it's like they won't put themselves in the lead character role and say, no, it's not a different version of me. It's me who's going to get this. I believe I'm entitled to this. I believe I work really hard and I should be able to be successful. Or I believe I'm very lovable. And of course, I see me as the person having a long-term relationship with, not somewhere way down the future. Because I think Leo doesn't realize it, but they could have had this at any point in time, but they have to be able to see themselves as that lead character. And that's the wake-up call for today. Is Leo able to see themselves as they truly are? Because Leo doesn't have to change a damn thing. They're already sexy enough, nice enough, intelligent enough, powerful enough to have like really like the steps occur that will bring them to what they truly want. They kind of fight with themselves. It keeps feeling like this Leo always thinks that they have to somehow still earn the right, and they're never going to let themselves earn the right to be that lead character in their own life. Feels like Leo moves goalposts and argues with themselves about why they're still not good enough. Oh, I have to still lose 10 more pounds before I could be lovable, or something along those lines. And it just says, nope. I mean, it doesn't mean that we don't still want to work on ourselves, or, that we're not allowed to say, well, I'm realistic with myself and there's stuff that I'm not done working on yet. But this is a Leo who's actually been holding themselves back, not realizing that the things that they want, they should already allow themselves to see themselves having, that they're already lovable, they're already good enough. So it kind of it is the big thing to contemplate for our Leo today is, in what areas has Leo been denying themselves the very things that they most want? Nine of Pentacles. And I kind of think this could be the day that Leo like throws off that, waterlogged blanket that they've been lugging around and says, you're right. Like, why on earth would I not think that I'm already worthy of success? Why would I not already have more confidence that I have amazing skills? If I want to, branch out and do something on my own, I'm intelligent enough and talented enough to do this. This could have been like a Leo who's been working a ton for other people all their life. And yet all their ideas are what builds somebody else's business. And it's like, but those are my ideas. Why don't I use my ideas for my own business? Why am I giving my ideas to somebody? And then I see how much money they're making off of it and their empire is being built. But that was all this brain. That was my brain that did that. Why don't I build that for myself, since those are my ideas anyway? And this is not to be like, oh my God, I threw away all my best ideas and somebody else got them, or, that's not it. Leo has plenty of more ideas. Look at how abundant this is. I'm just saying we use our energy and our time to build things. And sometimes it's like, okay, but I could actually use all that time, money, and energy to build it for myself. And I have the confidence to know that I could build it for me. Or this is Leo who needed to be able to see themselves as a leading character in a love story. Of course, I have a ton to offer. Who wouldn't want to be with me? I know that I have a lot to give to somebody. So let me start seeing myself. This is awesome. Let me start seeing myself in a different light. We have the Queen of Swords and we have these butterfly wings. This is not a Leo who's going to put themselves on a pedestal where it's like, because the other danger is if we really need to still work on ourselves and we're like, oh no, I'm so perfect. That would be the opposite end of the spectrum. I don't see Leo acting like that. I see Leo always having a good check and balance in themselves. But they are insisting, I need to change the way I see myself, not become the opposite direction where it's like, I'm better than everything and nothing's good enough and I never get enough because I'm worth so much more, and having this weird bloated, arrogant opinion of oneself. Leo's not going to go that route because they've got the Queen of Swords energy in themselves where it's like, no, I just need to be more truthful with myself. I'll be fair instead of constantly telling myself I'm never living up to an expectation because I won't let myself. No, instead I'm going to be more honest and fair with myself. So I see Leo changing their mindset today. 9 of Swords. This is a hard thing. This is maybe even uncomfortable for Leo to be able to like say nice things about themselves to themselves. But here's the kicker. Leo might start to realize, God, there's a lot of people out there walking around doing the same thing that I was doing, not really feeling very good about themselves, always moving goalposts, always telling themselves they're still not good enough. I'm not the only person who does this to me. We have the sun. That's Leo. In this case, vomiting rainbows. This could be that Leo's life path is to also uplift others. We have like all these balloons. Like, I want to celebrate the rebirth day for people. If we could stop feeling small all the time, if we could stop wondering if we have value and know that we have value, that's our new birthday, when we choose to say, no, I know that I have worth and value. And I almost think Leo is going to be able to, like, in a really beautiful way, like, instill other people with that same concept. Like, you are the lead character in your own life and you are worthy of being that lead character. And certainly, we're here to grow and we're not perfect, but we shouldn't be walking around in this perpetual state of, someday it would be so amazing if I could have, happiness and be lovable. It's like, babe, you already are. I think Leo's going to be good at helping other people see this in themselves. I feel like Leo's going to be a real ray of sunlight in other people's lives. Let me just ask then, if this is the turning point for Leo, how does this impact Leo's, let's say, love life? Because I do feel like this is a Leo who kind of always still thought, I'm going to be solo. It's always just going to be me. This new mindset, we have Page of Wands, we have 5 of Pentacles, and we have Ace of Swords. How is this going to impact Leo's love life? We see them literally walking over the rainbow. We see them excited about doing things differently. We see them facing those fears. And maybe the reason Leo was always like, nah, I'm always still going to end up alone, is because it was like, what if I meet somebody that I fall for, but they don't fall for me? And then I'm left alone. This is Leo saying, then you can still say, you know what, we all have to, choose what's right for us. And that doesn't mean that we're unworthy, even if we meet somebody and they don't stay with us. I'm no longer afraid of that. I'll let them go with love and say, that's all right. Onward. I loved you. I wish you well, whether you find your happiness with me or someone else. I will continue on. Eight of Swords. This was the part that I think Leo was stuck on in their head. They maybe for a while felt like, you know, if I love somebody and what if they aren't the person who stays, then how would that make me feel about myself? What does that say about me? And Leo's finally saying, it doesn't say anything about me. It says maybe they had their problems, maybe they're running from things, maybe they tell themselves lies, maybe they came to take something from me because I'm an abundant person. You know, don't get stuck in why other people do the things that they do and think everything is a reflection of you. I think this is really going to help Leo as they move forward in their love story. Ace of Pentacles, brand new beginnings, beautiful, loving energy here. I think Leo is about to have maybe their first really great, fearless relationship with somebody. There could be an earth sign coming in. Knight of Swords in the reverse. There's not going to be a rush. It's not that Leo's going to be like, okay, I have to, you know, get ready. I got to fall in love with somebody. No, it's going to be nice and easy and slow. The Four of Pentacles is about holding back, building things slowly, getting to know somebody, taking one step at a time, you know, like not being in a race or a rush to get to like, okay, if this person can't fall in love with me, then that must mean that because I'm not lovable. No way. Leo's not doing that anymore. We have the Devil upright and we have the High Priestess. I'm going to say in the past, look, I think Leo's incredibly sexy. And I think Leo has had people that really, really, really wanted to get with Leo, but they may not have had much more to offer Leo than, you know, their sensuality. And I think Leo is just now starting to realize, oh my God, I thought about this the wrong way my whole life. I thought that somehow somebody who wants, you know, a sensual connection with me, but maybe doesn't stick around, that somehow lowered my self-worth. No, it's that they may have been like quite toxic, maybe very head over heels with Leo, because I always use this as the example. Thieves steal diamonds because they're valuable, not because they're not valuable. Sometimes people come through Leo's life because they're like, oh my God, this Leo is so hot and I have no self-control and I just got to try to get with them, even if I can't offer anything, even if, you know, I've got somebody else at home and I shouldn't be messing with Leo, but I can't help myself. They're so attractive. Leo's just now starting to realize something that they should have known a long time ago, which is sometimes people come towards you that don't have everything to offer you, but they really want you. I didn't know they saw me as valuable, not less valuable, but more valuable. That's now I just have to weed out who actually is coming toward me because they want me and they're in a healthy mindset versus people who want me, but they don't have much to offer. This is completely different than what Leo ever thought about themselves. This is like a total 180. Wow, that's a big breakthrough for this 111 or 1111 message. All right, Leos, I'm going to leave this one here. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing.